Well, Georgia, that was a lot of runs to get. You made a good fist of it.
Yeah, I think we're pretty happy with the way we went about that chase. I think we let them get probably 20 too many, which in the end was probably the difference between the two sides.
Yeah, when you and Ella McGacken were going there, 80-odd run partnership, it looked on. And also, you had to stay ahead of the DLS par score after every ball.
Yeah, I think in a funny sort of way, the DLS was actually helping us because it kept us on track throughout the overs. But yeah, no, Macca was outstanding. I think we knew that we needed to get at least one, if not two boundaries and over. But actually, with the wicket being so good and the outfield being so quick, we quickly realised that just good shots kind of got you that. The more you tried to hit it, the harder it actually got in the end. But no, I thought Macca was brilliant. We were ahead of the rate for probably a lot of it, but we just fell away in the last 5 overs.
When that DLS was going up and you were staying just ahead of it by 1 or 2 runs most of the time, and the rain was closing in, did you think, let's get off, we're ahead?
Yeah, I mean, we were playing cat and mouse a bit, and it is difficult, I think, mentally as batters at the crease, you're always going, you know, what do you play for? Do you play for the end result? Do you play for DLS? You lose a wicket and DLS rockets up. So, yeah, it was not the easiest situation, but it got pretty heavy at one point. I contemplated a few shoelaces at times, but no, I think with the way the pitches are here and the way it drains, it never felt heavy enough. But we battled through. Obviously, the Grace Harris over was killed us really, with losing both Macca and I in 1 over. Left us probably too much to do for our lower order at the end.
The umpires came together, didn't they, at one moment, but it looked like the rain had just stopped at that time.
Yeah, I was looking at them longingly as the captain of the other side. But yeah, no, it's never easy, and I think credit to the team with how, and also to Macca with how she's been navigating the chasers at the moment. She's been playing absolutely fabulously, so I'm really chuffed for her, and loads of positives to take away from today. I think, you know, it was a high run scoring game, and it was going to be a hell of a chase, so I think the way we went about it was fantastic. We just probably needed a bit more up top to give ourselves a bit more of a platform down the bottom for our batters to go out there and try and hit some over the ropes.
Maybe in the field, you know, as you say, you allowed them to get a few more. I mean, there was a couple of drop catches. And then what about that run out with Grace Harris? I mean, 2 batters down one end, and somehow she managed to scramble back. Yeah,
I think, look, in this format, if you give world-class batters lives, you pay the price. I'm a big believer in that, and you've got no... you can't slip at all in terms of your standards, and I think that probably cost us a little bit today, but equally we've got to scrap it, we've got to keep going. I thought our ground fielding was exceptional, and the way people were sort of navigating across the boundaries and running around like headless chickens was exceptional. But yeah, I think you've got to take your level 1 catches. We pride ourselves on that. We didn't do that today, and you know, we gave figures, and you can't do that when it's Grace Harris.
Well, you know her from Australia, don't you, pretty well, and how hard she hits the ball.
I mean, she's one of the best, I think, in the world, and she probably doesn't get enough credit because she's in such a strong Aussie side. But the way she hit the ball today and some of the shots she played, I don't think our bowlers could have done much more. We just stood and admired, tried not to admire it too much. But yeah, no, she's exceptional, and she hits the ball so clean, so hard down the ground, and I don't think we mis-executed our plans too much, but she's strong enough to clear the ropes because she's such a fantastic athlete.
It's only 1 loss out of 3, but I mean, overall, you guys have started the competition well, haven't you?
Yeah, absolutely, and I think in this format, you kind of take and accept that you're going to have some tough games, but equally, you know, there's a lot of games ahead of us. We've got a short break now before we go again, and like, I'm really comfortable with the fact that we've got quite a quick turnaround to get back out on the park after a loss. I always think that's quite helpful rather than a bit of a break. So hopefully we can get out Arundel on Saturday and showcase our skills again and be back to winning ways.
Was it a tough and quick turnaround after being in Manchester, you know, in less than a day ago, and here you are playing again?
Yeah, I think, look, we're adapting and we're getting used to playing a lot of cricket now, and that comes with a lot of travel. But, you know, the team pulled up really well. We made sure we nailed all our recovery strategies. We didn't have too much of a late night last night, so I don't think it was any excuse for today's result, but it's something that we just collectively are going to have to get used to moving forward, I think. I think the lads have had to go through it now for a couple of years with unfriendly schedules at times and a lot of travel, so we'll get there.
You're back, as you say, on Saturday to a familiar ground, Arundel against Durham.
Yeah, we love playing at Arundel. We seem to always get Durham at Arundel as well. So yeah, we're looking forward to having a game at home. It'd be nice to get back to one of our home grounds and get out get out there again and see if we can get back to winning ways.